Hi guys, it's Lonnie again. It's about my fifth attempt to try to get this right, so bear with me if it doesn't turn out exactly right. Today I want to talk to people who are using drugs and alcohol. In my opinion, 90% to 95% of all the people using drugs and alcohol are using them to self-medicate some type of treatable mental disorder. For me, alcohol and drugs were a symptom, an attempt at a solution to the underlying cause of anxiety. The bottom line is, if I want people, if you're drinking and drugging, man, you need help, okay? But there's some feelings here. I just did a video on symptoms. Well, here's some more symptoms for you: guilt, fear, loneliness, self-pity, isolation. I've known since I was a child that I was not like other people. I didn't fit in. I never did. I never have. Even in school, right on through. They just had something I didn't have. They had a way of getting, I don't know exactly what it was. They had something that I did not have, that I did not possess it, and I could not get it. They interacted with one another. They just had something that I did not have, and I was always different. I was a loner because of it. It was difficult for me to talk to people, even when I could be around them. And for the most part, I just stayed to myself. So there's isolation. Loneliness. It's the feeling of being misunderstood. And to be honest with you guys, I mean, we're misunderstood. The only people that understands the way we think is us. And I have spent many a year thinking that I was the only person in the world that felt the way that I do. But I'm here to tell you today that I am not, and you are not. We struggle with trying to feel good for our entire lives, always wanting to feel good, always wanting to fit in, never could. The feeling of impending doom. If you've not heard of this before, you're hearing about it now, and if you know it, you know it. Something's going to happen. Something's going to happen to me. It's going to happen for long. I don't know when. I don't know how. But the fear of impending doom, something, always. You always feel guilty. You always feel like you should have done something that you didn't do. Man, when I was drinking, I would wake up thinking I was supposed to push the button and save the world, and overslept. And then I would have the anxiety would come on me. But at the time, I didn't know it was anxiety. I'd have this pain in my chest, and my thoughts would be racing. And I knew if I would just drink me some beer, that it would go away, you know. So obviously, I'm alcoholic. Well, it turns out, guys, that I was self-medicating. You know, it's a symptom. It's a symptom of something deeper. If you don't get to the core, you're not ever going to be able to get better. If you tried AA or NA, which are fantastic groups, and I highly recommend them. But the bottom line is, if you don't, you know, they told me you can't treat the symptom. You've got to treat the cause. And I went to AA, and they said, don't drink and go to meetings. Well, that's a great concept, and it will work for anyone who is genuinely alcoholic or genuinely has drug problems, drug issues. But for someone who's suffering from anxiety, that's simply not possible. There's no way I could go 30 days without drinking. Well, I mean, I could go time period without drinking, but during that 30-day period, I would drink. I would have to, because the anxiety would get so bad, I would have to. You've got to get to the cause, to the root cause. If you've got to get help one way or the other. Now, that's just the bottom line. Look at yourself, man. Look at what you're doing to yourself, to your life. I mean, I don't even know you, but you know what you're doing, and you know you got to get help. But I'm just saying, if you got to get help, you got to get the right kind of help. Like I say, get to an NA meeting, get to an AA meeting, but for God's sake, get to some type, and get to a mental therapist. Get to a therapist, not to a regular doctor. Regular doctors will hand you a handful of drugs. I probably shouldn't tell you that, because you shoot down there and get some. But in most cases, a general practitioner just doesn't have the background. He's studied different things. He's not studied addiction or anxiety or mental illness or anything. And their general rule is, if someone comes in, give them a prescription. So that's that's also a possibility as well. But to get in some type of a structured environment, I definitely get into AA. And once you get into AA or NA, you'll see the people there are fantastic. They're recovering and they understand. And I'm sure that somebody there has gone through the same thing that you have. I guess the bottom line on this, like I say, I don't ever want to run too long. But just because you're drinking and just because you're using drugs doesn't necessarily mean that that is the problem. I mean, I know it's causing problems in your life. I know it's making you feel bad. But that doesn't necessarily mean that's going to cause a problem. And if you want to get help, you've got to get to the core, man. You've got to get to the core. Well, I would like this to be better, and I have a lot more to say. So I don't know if this is going to be a two-parter or what. But my message is simple. There's hope. There is hope. You don't have to live like this no more. There are ways to get around it, and we're gonna get there, guys. We'll get there together. And take care, hang tough, and have a good day.